Okay, hey everyone, good morning. It's about 5 minutes of 6 a.m. Wednesday, September the 10th, and let's take a quick peek at the most active list before I get into Palantir. So far this morning, we have quite a bit of activity in NEO for some reason. They usually don't get much. Opendoor has been high on this list for the last 2 weeks at least, as far as I can remember. And Oracle had earnings. Oracle had earnings yesterday, and they're up huge, almost $76. So anyone who was in that and long, they are going to wake up to a pleasant little surprise. GameStop has actually rallied a bit too. It's above 25 now. It was hovering in the 23 area for, I want to say, the last month. I do have it on my focus list here. These modules down here, 2540. It's had a nice little rally, and somewhat related to GME as far as crypto is concerned. Bitfarm, BITF, popped up on this most active list yesterday. I decided to buy a few calls at the 150 strike, expiring next week, September the 19th. And I paid 7 or 8 cents for those. But what I think I'm going to do is turn it into a long vol play. Excuse me. Sometime this morning after cash opens, I'm probably going to buy maybe 500 shares. I'm thinking 500 shares of this, at least 500. And then if it continues to rally, probably buy 10 puts, well, twice as many. So if I buy 500 shares, I'll buy 10 puts, which would leave me with 1,000 short, share equivalency, 1,000 short. And that would basically leave me with a straddle, a long straddle, where I'm long 500, so to speak, and short 500. And then I'll just turn this into a straight up vol play. We will see where it opens, but for the time being, I have a small profit on the calls that I purchased yesterday. When I purchased the calls, and again, that's the 150 strike, Bitfarm was trading for about $1.41, and let's take a quick look at a chart here so we can see. I have a visual of what's been going on over the last few days, and as we see here, how far back was this? August the 4th, so a little over a month ago. This was barely $1, and then subsequent to that, this week, it's rallied a bit. For whatever reasons, I haven't poked around too much news-wise, but since it popped up on the radar and it's crypto related, they mine Bitcoins. I decided to jump in small, and perhaps this morning I will increase my position there, and as I mentioned, turn it into a vol play. Okay, Palantir, which is what I want to mention, this has had a decent rally this week. They were as low as 155, I think, last week. Let's see. Ooh, a lot lower than that. 140, just under 148. And that was last week. So they've had quite a rally. And what I did in Palantir was, let's take a look. So, I need 7 days on this one. Let's get rid of some of the clutter. Okay, so yesterday, so this was 2 days ago, Monday of this week, I decided to buy a Dragonfly expiry, September 19th, 160, 170, long that call vertical, short the 70, 72 and a half. The price of that package was $2.30 times the multiplier of 100. $230 to put on this short-term bullish play. And just for reference as to where this was trading 2 days ago, let's look at 7:11 in the morning on the 8th at about, I did the trade at 7:11. So you can see here that from the open, the onset of trade on Monday, it had roughly $3.50 range from low to high of this 30-minute candle. So it was probably around 157 and change-ish when I bought it, and subsequently it's rallied. But anyway, after I did that on the 9th, which was yesterday, we did have a rally. It got up to the 161-ish handle, and what I did was I decided to keep the trade, but I modified it by rolling the 160 call up to 165. That was done for a 250 credit. Note that the initial package was purchased for 230. So now I'm into the whole thing for a small credit. Whatever happens, I'm not going to lose money at this point, but I might be able to make another adjustment today based on this rally. Note that the close yesterday was 234, 162.34, and we're up $5 from that point. And the current position, and this is not going to depict it accurately because it doesn't carry forward. It doesn't gather the information from when the trade was initiated. So it's just marking to market the current position. But anyway, there's no risk to the downside because I purchased it for 230 and did a roll for more, greater than that amount. So, and there's no risk to the upside either, as it's showing here. But current position, 65, 70, 72 and a half. So I don't think I necessarily want to exit the trade at this point. But adjustments I can make would possibly, depending upon what happens after the open, which is a little less than 30 minutes away, I might actually sell this and buy the 75. So what that would leave me with is a butterfly. It would be symmetrical between the 65, 70, and the 75 strikes, center being at 70. If I roll it from 2.5 to 5, I want to see how much of a credit I'll be able to gather from doing that. If that doesn't seem appealing to me, then it is possible. It is a possibility that I might just close the trade. I will make a decision about that sometime after the open, probably within 20 to 45 minutes. I want to see when things settle down a bit. All right, so that's a further adjustment I can make on this nice little rally on Pltr from, it's basically rallied 20 bucks over the last couple of weeks. Pretty decent rally. All right, we'll see how the open goes. I hope that was helpful. Good luck. I'll catch you guys later.